Hi everyone, my name is Graham Shepard and I'm an SE that works for Cisco Systems. Today I want to show you the power of our APIs, and by leveraging Spark and the in-room control with Telepresence, we can create a high-touch experience for our end users, giving IT the capability better to serve their consumers. So the first thing you see here is the Touch 10, and by using the in-room control, I've added an additional widget at the bottom right called Support. In this use case, imagine a customer comes into a telepresence room but needs some additional support using it for their upcoming meeting. When they press that, they're going to list of additional support services. In this case, maybe they want live in-person support to help with the setup. When they press this button, what's actually going to happen in the background is we're going to log a message directly into the Spark room, which IT would support. In this case, IT would get this message, they'd see the system name, the type of unit, the software version, and they're requesting live support. And since we're leveraging Spark, right, IT can leverage any device. They can be anywhere within the building or within the company, be able to accept this request and reply back to that end user. In this case, I know that system, I'm very close to it, so I'm going to reply directly back to that user, letting them know that I got the message. Hi, I got your message. We'll be over in 5 minutes. What you'll see here on the Touch 10 is this user will see this message, they'll get popped back up, and they can acknowledge it, and that acknowledgement will get posted back into Spark. But let's just say as an end user, I'm in the room, I know how to use it, but I'm having some sort of problem. I can actually report that issue directly to IT. When I press that button, I'm going to get a list of options that I can report. In this case, let's just say I'm having a dialing problem. When I click that button, we're going to generate a message back into Spark. In this case, Spark's going to give us some additional information about what's going on. This end user is reporting a dialing problem, and this is the previous number they dialed. Well, everything looks good for me from that dialing perspective, but let me ask the end user if they want me to try. Would you like me to try dial this number? So I'm going to respond back to the end user, and you'll see on the Touch 10, they'll get that question popped up. In this case, the end user would like IT to make the dial for them. And you'll see the response here in Spark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remotely control that codec, and I'm going to have it dial that number. And you can see watching the Touch 10, we now make the dial and we're connected. So some other use cases, right? Let's say now this is a live meeting. It's been going on for 30 minutes and all of a sudden we experience a problem. Rather than hanging up or calling IT, you can see I've added an additional widget right down there in the bottom to dynamically communicate with IT about the problem that's happening. So now when I click support, once again I get a list of support services. In this case, I'm going to report an issue. A list is going to come up and I'm going to say I'm having a video quality problem. What you're going to see is we're going to post this message in Spark and we're going to let IT know that there's a live call happening right now with video quality problems. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check the diagnostics of that unit and see if anything jumps out at me. So via Spark, I can get the diagnostics of any system, and what you can see here is Spark's providing me some feedback that first of all, there's no camera detected and we seem to have some HDMI problems that are affecting our on-screen display. So obviously there's something going on with that system. So what I can do is I can reply back to that end user. Thanks for the report. I see the issue. It will be over in 5 minutes. Once again, letting the end user know I see the problem, I know what's going on, I'm going to come help them, support them. That'll pop up in the Touch 10 and they can acknowledge that message. So one of the use cases, after any call, we're always going to produce a survey to an end user, right? Often bad calls happen, IT will never know about them, end users will get frustrated, and it might take multiple calls before we decide or they get alerted that an issue has occurred. So in this case, after any call, we're always going to produce a survey asking for the end user about their feedback. So in this case, I'm going to report this call as poor. And when we do that, we're going to ask the end user for a little bit more information. In this case, once again, I'm going to say there was video quality problems. So anytime a poor quality call happens, we're automatically going to log that information into Spark, letting IT know right then and there that a poor quality was just experienced from an end user. In this case, we're going to know who they called, And since it was poor video, we're actually going to capture the statistics of the packet loss. In this case, there was no packet loss. There must have been some other problem, which was no camera detected. So not only are we always going to report these statistics within Spark, we're also going to put them inside a SQL database. The SQL database will capture the name, the URI they were dialing, the feedback from the end user, and if it's a poor quality call, the reason. By keeping this historical data of the feedback directly from the end user, we can make sure IT is not only monitoring the system statistics, but is also the feedback of the end user to make sure that they provide the best quality experience. These are just a few quick examples showing the power of our APIs, and by leveraging them, we can create compelling solutions for our customers. I want to give some credit to RoomReady, who I saw the first integration of Spark and Telepresence. And just so you know, I have no background in programming, and within a couple days of reading the API documentation, I was able to create this solution. Appreciate your time, and if you have any questions or feedback, please let me know.